Hello friends, hope you are doing well. So welcome back to our channel ML for Analytics and welcome back to this playlist DAX Odyssey. So today we'll continue the table functions as we are continuing in this particular series. So as you remember in the last video we covered the commands all selected and all except. Now in this video I am going to cover the other two table functions which are values and distinct. So their behavior is quite similar to the all command, so I just wanted to cover that before we proceed further. So let's discuss these two commands. So in this we will cover different scenarios where values and distinct can be used, and we will also see the demo. So let's get started. So friends, I have opened the Power BI desktop now, and let's see the different scenarios where values and distinct function can be used. Now basically both the functions have the same behavior when it comes to passing a single column. Suppose you want to create a single column table, calculated table. In that case, if you pass a single column name to either value or distinct function, so they will return the unique values in that particular column and will create the calculated table. The only difference is that if there is any blank value inside that column which you are passing to the values or distinct function, values will return that blank value and distinct will remove that blank value. Okay, so this thing only needs to be kept in mind while using values and distinct. Now basically this is a very rare scenario where you would want to create a calculated column using values and distinct, a single column table. Though there may be many scenarios in which you want to create a single column dimension and you want to use it as a filter, that's another case. But mostly they would be used inside a measure. So let's see different scenarios where we can use both the functions inside a measure. So in this demo I have already prepared some tables as you can see on my screen, and I have already prepared some measures. So I will just walk you through the code and different scenarios. So let us start with the very first table, in which we can see that there are 4 columns: English product category name, which is taken from the dim product category table. Then we have number of colors, which is a measure. Another which is distinct color, in which we are using distinct function, and then number of all colors. So basically we have used here values function, then distinct function, and then all function here. So basically in previous video we discussed about the all function, that when it comes to passing a single column to all function, it always returns a unique values in that column. So basically as I mentioned earlier also, that behavior is quite similar in terms of passing a single column of values, distinct and all. So let's see all these 3 measures. So let me start with the first measure, in which I am using number of colors. So here you can see that what I am doing is I am just counting the rows, using values function, I am passing the dim product color. So I am passing the dim product color to the values function, and then I am counting the number of rows. So basically what it will do is it will count the number of rows which are for each category, right? So now as I mentioned, that values always return distinct values or the unique values inside that column. So this measure actually will return the unique values which are for the unique colors which are falling under this particular category. So as you can see here, under accessories we have 6 unique colors, under bytes 5 unique colors. Similarly, in total we have 10 unique colors, right? Now let us come to second measure, which uses distinct. Now in this case, the only difference is that instead of values I am using distinct, and you can see the same number, same output. So since there are no blank values inside this particular column, so as I mentioned, that values and distinct will behave the same way. Now let us come to the third value or the third measure, which says all, right? So here again we are using all function, rest is the same. So as we discussed in the previous video, if you remember, that all ignores all the filters, whether it is inside the visual or outside the visual, whether it is a page level filter or report level filter or a slicer. So it will ignore all the filters in the report. So that's why we are seeing all the values as 10. Okay, so it is not taking this filter into consideration, and the total is 10 as you can see. So now what is the difference between then the values and distinct? Now let us go to the Power Query and let us delete one color from the dim product table. So what I will do is I will open the Power Query editor. Okay friends, so now here I have opened the Power Query editor and I will go to the dim product table, and what I will do is I will search for the color column, as you can see here, and what I will do is I will delete one color which is silver. Okay, and I will just close and apply. So basically I am filtering out the values, so it will not, now these rows will not be present inside the model now, so they will be removed. So let us now close and apply, and let's see what happens. Okay friends, so now the dashboard has been refreshed and now you can see that the values have changed suddenly. So let's see what has happened. So in this case, if you remember, we deleted one row, right? We deleted one color, sorry. So there were many rows belonging to that color in the dim product table. So all those rows have been removed. Now what has happened is, if you might have studied our videos in our channel related to modeling, so basically what happens is, if there is a referential integrity issue, I mean if there are invalid relationships by some means or somehow, like we have break the kind of integrity here because we have deleted deliberately one color or removed few rows from the table. So what will happen is it will produce a blank row on the one side of the table. So basically you can say that there would be different product subcategories which were having that silver color, right? Now we have removed those rows. Now product subcategory is having a one-to-many relationship with dim product table. So product in the dim product is on the many side and dim product subcategory on the one side. So from the many side we have deleted few rows. Now those rows have become orphaned rows, you can say, because against those rows now there are no value inside the dim product subcategory table. So what will happen is automatically a blank row will be inserted in the dim product subcategory table so that it could be matched with those orphaned rows. So all those orphaned rows will fall now under the blank category. So a dim product category has been created. Here you can see that blank row and one color. So since we deleted only one color, silver, so that's why the count is 1. Rest all you can see the count as you were seeing earlier. Now coming to the distinct color, as I mentioned that distinct never returns the blank value, right? So it will ignore this blank value and it will not return any color for this blank row or for this blank product category name, right? Coming to all, the behavior is the same for all. It ignores all the filters, so it is behaving like this. Okay, so this was the first scenario where I wanted to discuss all the 3 possibilities. Now let us come to the second scenario on this table and let's do some calculation here. So basically what I have done is again taken the product subcategory name and we are calculating average sales. Okay, so using different functions, values you can say, or distinct also. So let's see. So basically what we are trying to do is here we are trying to calculate sales average per product values, right? So let's go to the first measure itself first. Okay, so now I am onto the first measure. What I am doing here is, as you can see that first I am taking the sum of sales amount. I am using SumX function here. So fact internet sales, order quantity into unit price, and then it is iterating and calculating the total sales amount. Then in the second part I am doing the values of product keys. So on the dim product side table I am taking all the unique product keys and I am doing the count rows. I am counting all the unique product keys, right? And then I am dividing the total sales amount by the product key. So what it will give me? It will give me the average per product, right? So this is the first number here. Now coming to the second number, instead of values function here I am using the distinct function. Okay, so the only difference is this, and the output is, since it will ignore the blank value, as you can see it is ignoring that, so that's why we are not seeing the values here. Now coming to one last measure which I have created, which is distinct key. So here what I am doing is Rest part is the same. The only difference lies in here that I'm using the values function, and instead of counting the product key on the dim product side, I'm counting the product key on the fact internet sales side, because obviously dim product and fact internet sales are having a one-to-many relationship. So in this fact internet sales table, there will be many sales against a single product also, right? So instead of taking the product key from the dim product side, I'm taking it from the product key side. So it will give me all the unique product keys for which the sales has been actually made. So and that then using the divide function, and it is giving me the average. So let us put that also in the measure in the visual, and let's see what happens. Okay friends, so now let us see what has happened here. Now as you can see that this value is different from this value. All these values are different, and even the totals are different, right? So in this case, basically, if you remember, in all the three cases we are taking the averages, right? But in the case of values function, we are expecting the average even for the blank color, but actually this number is wrong. Let me explain you why it is wrong. So basically, what has happened here is, in case of accessories, it took all the unique product keys and divided the total sales amount by the which belong to accessories, and divided all the product keys which belong to accessories, and we got the average. Okay, so this is fine as of now. But this number, now the only as I mentioned that on the dim product side there will be only one blank row, right? So it will take all the sales amount which are belonging to the silver color. So it will sum up all the values, and on the dim product side, since we remove the silver color, so there will be only one row, one blank row. So it is dividing the total number by 1. So it will give us the total sum of silver amount. So it is not taking the average. Okay, so since it is getting divided by 1, so basically, since all those product keys has been deleted now from the product table, which belong to the silver color, so actually the correct number would be that we need to have those product keys. So might be there would be 10 products which belong to silver color, or 20. So we need to divide this number by 10 or 20. That will give us the average. This is the sum. This is not the average. In case of distinct, obviously we discussed that it will always return the blank, so there is no point discussing it. Now coming to the third one, this is the correct number now, because instead of taking the product key from the dim product side, now we are taking product key from the product sales fact internet sales table, because fact internet sales table still contain those product keys, right? Because it contains all the sales right now for all the products. So that's why we took the distinct value of product key and we divided it by the number. So that's why this number is small as compared to this number, and this is the correct average, right? So this brings us to the different scenarios where these values and distinct can be used. Now there is another use case where these can be used, is that in some cases values or distinct function can be used to return a single value, a scalar value I mean. Actually it's not a scalar value, you can consider it as a single value table, right? Single row, single column table. So that's why I am saying it as a scalar value, because that would be a kind of table but only one row and one column. So it will be actually, you can say that a scalar value. So let's see those scenarios. So let's see the different measures which I have created for this particular table. So the first is count of color. So this is nothing, what I have done is, from the dim product table itself, I have dragged the color into the table. Let me just expand this, and I have taken the distinct count, right? So this is nothing, the calculation is done automatically by the visual itself. So we are taking the distinct count of all the colors which belong to different subproduct categories. Now let us come to the second measure, second column, for which I have created a measure. Now let me show you what I have done here is. So what I have done here is, as you can see that I have passed the dim product color to the values function. Then I have count the number of rows, and if the count rows is 1, then return the values. Only then return the value. Okay. So let's see the output here. So as you can see, if the color is 1, I mean if the unique color is only single color, then only the values are being returned. So in this case might be there would be different colors, so that's why it is blank. Okay, so this measure will return blank if actually there are more than one color. So in case of single color, it will return as the value, right? Now let us come to the this measure which is has one value. So this is another command. You can say this is a shortcut to what we have done is, so if you just want to check whether a particular column has a single value or not, so what you can do is you can, instead of using the if count rows and values function, you can directly use this particular function, has one value dim product color, right? So what it will check is, it will check the same thing and it will return the values. If it is true, if this condition is true, so it will return the values, else nothing. So the behavior would be similar to this one. The only difference is that we have shortened the length of the measure. Instead of doing count rows values equal to 1, so we are just using this function has one value. Okay. Now coming to the this particular measure, selected one. Okay. So what I have used here is, let me expand this. So this measure only returns us the selected value. So basically what selected value is done, if there is a single value, it will return that value. Else you can also pass an argument, a second argument to this function name. So if I am not passing anything, then it returns blank. Otherwise you can pass on any other value also. So in my case I am not passing any value, so by default it returns blank, right? So as you can see there, if the value is single, so it is returning me that single value, otherwise it is returning blank. So all these three have the same behavior, right? So I just wanted to show you this has one value and selected value function. Now coming to the last scenario, so here you can see that I have used concatenate x function, which is an iterative function. So it will iterate over all the unique values of the product color, and it will combine that with a delimiter comma using. So first you pass on the values, which values you need to combine or concatenate, the column name from which you want to take the values, and then the delimiter using which you want to combine the values. So as you can see here, now we can see because here we were seeing the blank value, now we are seeing those actual values because these were more than one. So now we are concatenating them and returning as a scalar value. Now this is a scalar value, this is not a table or a single column, so this is a scalar value because now it is a string. Okay. So as you can see here, so wherever we have more than one value, it will be comma separated now. So in case of total, you can see all the colors are now comma separated. Okay, so friends, with this we have covered all the scenarios for the values and distinct command, and we have also seen few new commands, that is has one value, selected value, and concatenate x function. So before we end this video, let us discuss some important points regarding the values and distinct function. So the first point says that values return the distinct visible values in the current filter. So what it means is that we have already discussed that values return the unique values in a particular column. Now if we have placed any filter, so that filter will apply on these values function. So whatever values will be visible in that for that filter will be returned by the values. Same is with the distinct function. So as you can see that distinct and values have the same behavior as long as there is no filter context. So all three will behave in the same way if there is no filter context. They will return the unique values. Ideally, a model should not contain invalid relationships. So basically, if you remember in this video we discussed earlier that I created one color deliberately and we somehow created an invalid relationship between the dim product subcategory or product category and the dim product table. So basically, due to that, a blank row was inserted in the dim product category and subcategory table to maintain the referential integrity. So ideally we should not do this. We should always try to have all the possible values, so there shouldn't be any blank value. Otherwise, it will always appear in the table and it will not look nice also in the numbers. Whatever calculations you will do, those will also be incorrect in those cases. So we should not break the referential integrity. This thing needs to be kept in mind. Coming to other point, values and distinct are mostly used as an argument to iterator functions. So as we have already seen that and we will see later also that values and distinct are mostly used as an argument to iterator functions. So by iterator functions I mean sum x, average x, max x, like this. So values should always be your default choice. So instead of distinct we should use values. Now, in case you deliberately want to exclude the blank value, then you can use distinct function. Values and distinct function can also accept a table as argument. Now, this is another point regarding values and distinct, and I have kept this point here. So, we have seen the scenarios where values and distinct were passed the single column. Actually, they can also accept a table as an argument. But in that case, what will happen is distinct return the unique values of table excluding the blank row. So if there is any blank row present in that table, that would be removed and all the unique rows will be returned to us by the distinct command. Now in case of values, what would happen is it return all the rows of the table including the blank row. So when we pass the table to the values function, in that case the behavior changes of and it will not return the distinct values, actually it will return the table as such and also that blank row which is already present inside the table. So duplicates are not removed in that case if we are passing the table to the values function. So with this we come to the end of this video, friends, and if you have any questions regarding this command values and distinct and their comparison with all command, you can post your question on the comment section and I will answer the question in my best possible way. So friends, in the other video I will also discuss one more scenario regarding the all and all selected. There is one use case which is very critical and I hope I wanted to discuss with you. So stay tuned to our channel and to this particular playlist for learning DAX, and also please do subscribe to our channel and share our channel with all the learners who want to learn Power BI or DAX or Azure. So see you in another video. Take care and goodbye.